Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to RAMP Mondaze, all courtesy of RAMP Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. We say welcome back. Thank you for being here. So today was inundated with a lot of calls about the show we did Sunday night regarding the Alpart pension problems. We have been diving deep in the research in order to get all the facts before we give you a part two. So that's coming up. So remember, this is AKA PIP Mondaze. So we prioritize, inform, and we promote. So therefore, we have put on top of our priority list the Alpart pensions problem. We've heard from many people today who are now eligible for their pensions, and they've been told they don't have one, and they have contributed. We've been told by many people who have also who have coming to the retirement age, and not only that, some who have already reached retirement age and want to tap into their pensions, to be told that you ain't gonna get none. Goodness gracious me, something smells like a rat here, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. So like, share, subscribe, comment, and click that notification bell. As you know, RAMP Promotions, this today is RAMP Mondaze, aka PIP Mondaze, is brought to you by RAMP Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, every Monday. Our objective is to firstly prioritize current and future affairs, events, and relevant matters that affect South Central Jamaica and our diaspora. Secondly, with this information highway, we will fast-track vital information with the intent to use all available options to get important information to our audience in the shortest possible time. Our third and final objective for RAMP Mondaze, aka PIP Mondaze, is to assist with the promotion of small businesses, schools, churches, charities, community initiatives, community sports, reggae artists, reggae bands, reggae sound systems, reggae DJs, and many other positive community-based organizations and events in the South Central of Jamaica and our global diaspora. So welcome to PIP Mondaze. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So let's touch on a little bit of immigration news, because there's some breaking news as we that happened quite recently with the Supreme Court that has opened doors to President Trump to continue to do what he's doing. So this is absolutely important for you to know, and for you to pass on the word that if you have an immigration problem, please get some legal advice. It is now absolutely important that you speak to an immigration attorney, an immigration specialist, and also gather as much information as you can regarding this. Hold on. So let's listen to this, guys.
Fast deportations to third countries. A plan sends migrants to countries that are not their country of origin. 3 justices dissented. A judge in Boston had blocked a May flight with migrants sent to Sudan, Africa. The group included people from Cuba and Myanmar. They reportedly had serious U.S. criminal records. The Trump administration says those deportations will continue.
President Trump and his NATO counterparts are gathering this week for what might be a historic summit. It also could drive a wedge among the 32 member countries. Just a week ago, things had seemed rosier. The NATO Secretary General was optimistic for an agreement to dedicate 5% of GDP to defense spending. Then Spain rejected the new target, calling it unreasonable. The following day, the President of the United States said that America should not have to respect the goal. On Sunday, he ordered the bombing of nuclear installations in Iran, which could dominate that summit. Questions also remain over Ukraine's place at the meeting. After 29 days of testimony.
So therefore, you heard it, guys. The Supreme Court has ruled that President Donald Trump can continue deportations. So therefore, if you're in a predicament, you need to find out what your options are. Speak to an immigration attorney. Speak to an immigration specialist. You need to know before you go. I've said it on multiple occasions, and this time you gotta understand that things have changed in this immigration landscape for everybody, not just people who are undocumented or illegal. It's changed for everybody. So let me touch on something that some of us needs to know, and all of us needs to know. So this has to do with green card holders. I'm going to bring this up to you guys. This is absolutely stunning. It's nothing that you haven't heard before, but here we go.
2025 has been proving us all wrong. Under the new administration, lawful permanent residents are being detained, pressured, and even deported, sometimes over offenses as minor as a shoplifting fine. In this video, I'll break down the 5 urgent truths that every green card holder must know to protect their status before ICE comes knocking on their door. Hi, I'm Zaira Solano, founder of Solano Immigration Law Firm. In 2025, with a new Trump administration in power, United States immigration enforcement has become much more aggressive and unpredictable than ever. Green card holders, those of you who are lawful permanent residents, are now under scrutiny in ways that we never expected. We've seen reports of people detained at airports or pressured into giving up their green card. Even the vice president has publicly said that green card holders do not have an infinite right to stay in the United States if the government decides otherwise. Bottom line, a green card is not a guarantee against deportation. In this video, I'll go over 5 truths every green card holder must understand under this Trump administration, plus real examples and practical tips to protect yourself. Truth number 1, you can be deported for minor criminal offenses. You may think it's a small mistake, something like shoplifting. You got into a fight at a bar, or maybe even a DUI. And you think it's not going to affect your immigration status, but it will. And many of these are considered crimes involving moral turpitude, and even one single conviction where you are found guilty can put you into deportation proceedings. Under the Immigration and Nationality Act, also known as the INA, specifically Section 237 is for non-citizens, and it indicates that non-citizens can be deported for being found guilty of theft, assault, drug possession, domestic violence, firearms offenses, or aggravated felonies as some examples. And here's the kicker. You don't even need to actually serve time in jail. If the potential sentence for the type of crime that you can receive is at least 1 year or more, and that criminal conviction occurred within the first 5 years of you getting your green card, you're in trouble. You could be deported. I recommend that after today, if you are ever arrested, that your criminal defense attorney knows you are not a U.S. citizen and consult an immigration attorney about your criminal case immediately. Truth number 2, a guilty plea can lead to deportation. A guilty plea in a lot of cases is something that sounds like a fast way to get out of trouble, a fast way for you to put this situation behind you and move on. But in reality, it can put your entire immigration and future at risk. Thanks to the Supreme Court case, Padilla versus Kentucky, it requires that criminal defense attorneys warn you about the immigration consequences of a criminal conviction. But even though we have this law that is a requirement for criminal defense attorneys, they're generally not experts or well-versed in immigration, and they don't understand the immigration law. I recommend that you never, ever plead guilty to any crime, no matter how minor, how small it is, without first talking to an immigration attorney and asking yourself, will this affect my green card? Can I be deported? And if you don't know the answer to that, then you need to speak to an immigration attorney before agreeing to take the plea. Truth number 3, ICE is targeting longtime green card holders. And it doesn't matter how long you've been here, how much you've contributed, how much of an amazing life you've led in the United States, or how old your criminal conviction is. In 2025, ICE has broadened its priorities. Green card holders who once safe are now getting detained. They've been deported, old charges that happened even decades ago. Past administrations often focus on serious or recent crimes, but that's changed under Trump 2025. If you've ever had a criminal arrest or a conviction, even if it was dismissed, it's on your record and it should be reviewed by an immigration lawyer. And until an immigration lawyer confirms whether or not it affects you, you should avoid all international travel. Even lawful permanent residents with green cards are subject to inspection every time they leave and return to the United States. And they can be detained upon entry if there's a record that triggers a red flag. Number 4, you have rights. Don't let ICE or CBP intimidate you. You may be told to sign something or to voluntarily leave the United States, but as a green card holder, you have the right to a hearing before an immigration judge under Section 240 of the INA. You have the right to be represented by an attorney at your own expense. You have the right to see the evidence that is being presented against you by Homeland Security. And you also have the right to submit applications to the immigration judge and apply for relief against being deported from the United States. ICE cannot legally force you to give up your green card. And if they present you with a form to abandon your LPR status, Form I-407, you are not required to sign it. I recommend that if ICE comes knocking on your door, you don't open it unless they show you a judicial warrant with your name on it. Stay calm, stay silent, ask to speak to an attorney, and do not sign anything unless your lawyer reviews it first. And lastly, truth number 5, the only real protection is United States citizenship. Let me tell you about Anna and Carlos. They both got green cards back in 2015. Anna applied for citizenship as soon as she could and became a U.S. citizen, but Carlos waited. In 2025, Carlos is now facing deportation due to a minor offense that happened years ago. Anna, well, she's safe right now because she's a U.S. citizen and she met all the requirements at the time that she became a citizen, and she cannot be deported. Becoming a citizen not only gives you the right to vote and a U.S. passport, but it gives you security. If you're eligible to naturalize to become a U.S. citizen, do it now. It usually takes 5 years of being a lawful permanent resident and a clean record, understanding and speaking English, and passing a civics test in order to become a citizen. If you're a green card holder now, while you're working towards citizenship, stay informed. Follow reliable news sources, legal aid organizations, and USCIS updates. Be very careful with rumors that are being spread on social media or hearsay, things that you hear from friends, sometimes neighbors, family, or coworkers. In 2025, the message from the Trump administration is loud and clear. Holding a green card is no longer a guarantee to a future in America. Even longtime residents with minor criminal charges are at risk of ICE. They're active, they're aggressive, and they're going back to look at old records. So here's what you can do. Don't underestimate any criminal charge. Know your rights before pleading guilty to any criminal charges. Do not travel internationally if you have prior criminal convictions. Make sure you know how to assess your due process rights, and get on a path to become a U.S. citizen ASAP. Now, if you think that just holding on to your green card is enough to stay safe, you're probably making a huge mistake. And in this next video, I'll dive into whether it's smarter to keep your green card or apply for citizenship, especially now that Trump is back in power. Trust me, the answer isn't what most people think. Click here to find.
Ladies and gentlemen, you as you heard from the attorney, that's Solano Immigration. But we thought that citizenship was guaranteed safe. If you've misrepresented your yourself on a citizenship application or during an interview, you have another thing coming, guys. I want to tell you that this is not a joke now. You can be stripped of your citizenship without even notice if you have misrepresented yourself, because they're checking everything now. If you told a lie, something you did not disclose, that's extremely important. It can be stripped away from you at the drop of a dime. A lot of people think that getting your citizenship by any means necessary. Think twice. If you're gonna lie, then you have another thing coming. Now, I'm gonna play this video for you. I want you to listen to it, then I'm gonna comment afterwards. All right. So, guys, check this out.
Automatically lose their citizenship. Yes, automatic revocation of naturalization. Lots of big words. What I'm going to discuss in this unscripted video is a concern that I know some of you have out there, some US citizens today have out there, and it is this: can I automatically lose my citizenship? I came to this country as a foreigner and I applied for a green card. I was approved. And then years later, I became a US citizen. And so now, what is the state of affairs concerning someone like me? Can I automatically lose my citizenship in light of everything that is going on? And so in this video, I'm going to dive into the ways that an individual can, in fact, lose their citizenship and lose it very quickly in an automatic way. This is unscripted, as I've said before. I'm going to share some resources with you in addition to true stories that ICE and USCIS have put out there for us to know about. Cases involving people who have automatically lost their citizenship. If you're new to me, welcome to this channel. I'm Latoya McBean-Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York, working nationwide at McBean Law, where we believe in freedom. Type in freedom now if you also believe in this freedom that so many immigrants are crying out for. We're reachable at 914-898-9488 for a consultation or a case evaluation meeting. Lastly, friends, before you go today, be sure to support this channel by subscribing and hitting that notification bell so that you'll be the first to get notice of my videos each week. Let's talk about this process of
we have
Okay,
grown
guys,
double diamond transport from
kinda
one truck, one trailer.
that down and wait for her to come back in. And here we go.
automatically losing your citizenship. It happens for people primarily who have knowingly made a false statement during their naturalization process. It's called naturalization fraud. And it is a criminal conviction. There is a criminal code that says that if an individual commits naturalization fraud, they could be sentenced to up to 10 years in prison. And if they've committed some other crime that's related to terrorism or drug-related offense, then they're looking at up to 25 years in prison. Again,
I hope that you get what Attorney Matt Bean is saying. You give false information. You misled the U.S. government that you omitted certain vital information. Then there's a prison term involved here, and you can be denaturalized and then removed. Goodness gracious me. So I want you to continue to listen, because this is extremely important to my global audience, and especially those in Jamaica. So therefore, listen carefully.
Again, guys, naturalization fraud is what this one is called. And it's not just the average, oh, I lied during my naturalization process. You know, I omitted something on my application. like a child, or, I misrepresented a fact, the government didn't know about it, and I got through. Well, if you knowingly committed misrepresentation during the naturalization process, of course, you could go through a denaturalization process, which is a lengthier process to strip away your citizenship from you. But what I'm speaking about in this one is a criminal matter called naturalization fraud. Naturalization fraud, friends, as I've said, is a criminal offense. And this is the section of the law that references this. And it says, whoever knowingly procures or attempts to procure, contrary to law, the naturalization of any person or documentary or other evidence of naturalization or of citizenship shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 25 years if the offense was committed to facilitate an act of international terrorism, 20 years if the offense was committed to facilitate a drug trafficking crime, or 10 years in the case of the first or second such offense if the offense was not committed to facilitate such an act of international terrorism or a drug trafficking crime, or 15 years in the case of any other offense or both. So what does this mean? It means that if you procured your naturalization in a fraudulent way, then again, you're facing 10 years in prison if this is your first offense and it's not related to drug trafficking or terrorism. This is very serious, guys. To see how this works practically speaking, and let's look at a recent story involving a Nigerian man who is a naturalized citizen, and how this crime of naturalization fraud has led to his automatic revocation of his citizenship. This is the press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of North Carolina. Nigerian-born man previously convicted in an $80 million fraud case, indicted on new charges of naturalization fraud. This is the story of a 51-year-old man named Okoro, who was born in Nigeria, and he was naturalized in 2018. This indictment, friends, alleges that he lied about his criminal history on his application to become a U.S. citizen. According to the indictment and other court documents, Okoro allegedly made knowingly and materially false statements under penalty of perjury on an application for naturalization. In response to one question, have you ever committed, assisted in committing, or attempted to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested?
Now, these are extremely important questions on your immigration application for naturalization. Guys, a lot of people just sweep through these questions without even sometimes reading it in its entirety. But they ask these questions in many different ways, and they give you so much opportunity to come clean and let them know what your situation is. A lot of us say no. And this is where immigration fraud comes in. But now they're prosecuting you for immigration fraud, which carries jail time. Continue to listen. This is RAMP Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show on RAMP Mondays, aka PIP Mondays. Continue to listen, ladies and gentlemen.
And he answered no. And then he took his oath of citizenship and he was naturalized in December of 2018. But friends, that question, which some people might find tricky, literally means, have you ever committed any crime, even though you were never arrested of it? If the answer for that is yes, yet you said no on this N-400 naturalization application, well, years later, the government could find out about what you had committed. And if they look back on your naturalization application and see that you said no when you should have said yes, they can charge you criminally with this naturalization fraud crime.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in my past podcasts, I've said that this immigration landscape has changed forever and ever. And this is exactly what I mean. The questions that you're asked on these naturalization cases, these applications carry certain security questions. So does the questions when you're seeking your green card. So those are questions when you're seeking a visa. These security questions, if you lie on them, you may think that everything is okay, so time out, and we say, we're fine. You're not, because down the road, if something happens, they're going to look back on these questions that you answered. What was your answer? And then when they probe deeply into your background and find things that you lied about, there you go. It's game over for you. So it's always good to speak to an immigration attorney, an immigration specialist regarding your case. Continue to listen, guys. PIP Mondays, here we go.
Let's go back to Okoro's story. On September 19th, 2024, following a jury trial in the U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Pennsylvania, Okoro was convicted of conspiracy to commit mail, wire, and bank fraud. He was also convicted of 2 additional counts of wire fraud, 1 count of mail fraud, and 1 count of bank fraud. He was sentenced to a term of 100 months in order to pay over $22 million in restitution. According to the jury's verdict, Okoro committed these crimes from at least August 13, 2008 through January 1st, 2011. He was not arrested until after he naturalized in 2018. So immigration officials were unaware of his crimes prior to granting citizenship. Did you catch that? Here you have Okoro, who committed these crimes before he even applied for naturalization. He was never arrested for these crimes. So he then filled out his N-400 application and said, nope, I've never committed any crime for which I was never arrested for. Then he became a citizen, and then years later, he was in fact arrested for those very crimes. And now the government is saying, we're going to take away your citizenship automatically. It's going to be revoked. Okoro is charged in a 3-count indictment with naturalization fraud. If convicted, a maximum penalty of 30 years in prison.
So therefore, he can serve a maximum of 30 years in prison. Not only that, he'll be stripped of his citizenship and he'll be sent back home. Guys, this is serious. You got to understand that things have changed and changed forever. That means that whatever you're doing here in the United States, if you're looking for an immigration benefit, speak to an immigration attorney, speak to an immigration specialist, and also speak the truth. Tell them what your situation is. And if you have something that's adverse that you did in the past in terms of getting a benefit from USCIS, you need to speak to an immigration attorney. You need to speak to an immigration lawyer regarding your case. So if you lied, if you misrepresented yourself in the past to gain these benefits, seek attention now from an immigration attorney. You need to get legal advice right now, because things are heating up and they're not going to change forever and ever. Things have changed, and you got to understand the landscape is different. So you got to know before you go. So continue listening, guys.
As well as the automatic revocation of his U.S. citizenship. Friends, this is how it works. Now let's take a look at how ICE operates behind the scenes to investigate these types of crimes. And in fact, they lay it out for us on their website exactly what resources they're looking at to come to the conclusion that you should be criminally charged for naturalization fraud.
Hey guys, can you believe that Amazon made billions of...
Okay, so while that let's get this off the screen and continue. Here we go.
Find, prosecute, and remove convicted felons who lie on immigration forms. And here's how they've outlined it for individuals who are convicted of this naturalization fraud. Everyone who applies for naturalization, truthfully answer a series of questions to show that they have a good moral character required to become a U.S. citizen. And some of the questions that are asked on the applications include questions like, have you ever committed a crime or offense which you were not
for which you're not arrested? Now, you got to understand, crimes of moral turpitude is a segue for you not to be naturalized in some cases. So therefore, you need the guidance of an immigration attorney or an immigration specialist to take you through the steps that needs to be taken in order for you to qualify for naturalization. So you may think that you can do it on your own, and rightfully so. But if you have problems, then you need expert advice from legal advice from an immigration attorney and expert advice from an immigration specialist. Listen, guys, have you these questions like, have you ever committed a crime or offense for which you were not arrested? That's a loaded question, and you got to think carefully, because if you lie and you're found out down the road that, hey, you committed a crime before you got naturalized, but you did not declare it, then you're going to lose your citizenship automatically. Continue to listen, guys.
arrested. Then they tell us exactly how it works on their end. ICE uses digital tools, including databases shared by other federal agencies, to identify people who committed crimes before or during naturalization and were convicted. And then they give you an example here. Say a person committed a crime in 2020 and wasn't caught. They became a naturalized citizen in 2021, and they were tried for and convicted of the 2020 crime in 2025. This person lied when answering the question, have you ever committed a crime or offense for which you were not arrested?
Listen carefully, guys, because I know a lot of you who are listening, or this will be shared with, share that concern. So you need the help of an immigration attorney. I'm going to put my numbers down below if you need some guidance or you need some direction according to your case at the end. So listen through, like, share, subscribe, comment, and also click the notification bell. You can click the notification bell down below. So like, share, subscribe, comment, and click the notification bell so you know when we're coming on. This is RAMP Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, and we call this RAMP Mondays, aka PIP Mondays. Continue listening, guys. Here we go.
They had committed a crime and they were only convicted after they were awarded American citizenship. And then they tell us that they work with partners such as the U.S. Attorney's offices, ICE attorneys from the Office of the Principal Legal Advisor's Denaturalization Program, the Department of Justice's Office of Immigration Litigation, ICE's Document and Benefit Fraud Task Force, USCIS's Fraud Detection and National Security Directorate, the U.S. Department of State's Diplomatic Security Service, and the FBI's Criminal Justice Information Services Division. And then these are the types of crimes that they have been successful with litigating: aggravated identity theft, child molestation, embezzlement, kidnapping, money laundering, narcotics trafficking, tax fraud, kidnapping, and some others. So you know USCIS also played a very big part by helping to convict that Nigerian man of that fraud case. On USCIS's website on June 17th, they have a press release also talking about this case and the part that they played in helping the government to convict him. So USCIS, friends, is an active participant in these activities. Friends, this is not fun stuff to talk about or think about, but I'm doing this video because I know many people are out there wondering whether they could lose their citizenship in an automatic way. And this is just an overview of how this naturalization fraud criminal conviction leads to automatic revocation of naturalization. Just so you know, I didn't pull up the court cases involving this, but there is a case called U.S. v. Garcia, and it's from 2018 out of the Fourth Circuit, which held that automatic revocation of citizenship upon conviction of criminal offense of making false and misleading statements about criminal history during naturalization application is required. It's an automatic revocation of citizenship, friends. And then there's another case from 2014 also out of the Fourth Circuit, which supports this automatic revocation of naturalization once a person is convicted of unlawfully procuring naturalization. So this is some serious stuff, guys. Under this administration, friends, the government is looking for these examples and ways to convict individuals who have committed naturalization fraud. If you're accused of something of that nature, it's a very serious issue. And for some people, they might be able to defend themselves successfully against this automatic revocation. However, it is a very, very complex process. I hope you found this helpful. Be sure.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as you've heard, citizenship is not a guarantee if you have misrepresented yourself or you have committed fraud to gain your citizenship. This is a serious deal. And as Attorney Matt Bean told you, that you can then lose your citizenship automatically. So you got to understand that if you don't come clean, if you don't come clean, you have a problem. And if you have a problem, you got to seek legal advice. This is a totally different landscape. And as I said to you before, you got to understand that if you do not try to make amends here or find the best way forward, the ICE will find you, or the U.S. government will pull up on you. You know that pull up? Goodness gracious me. You know when they pull up on you? Yeah. You know them thing, them pull up. You got to understand that it's no joke. This is a different landscape. So we spoke about the Alpart pension problems, that Alpart pension scheme problem. We're looking into it. We've spoke about the immigration problems. You know, the Supreme Court has that now allowed the Trump administration, and they found that, which we already knew, that the President Donald Trump has the authority to summon the National Guard to get law and order back to the forefront. So the rule of law in the United States takes precedent. And if the law is not being followed, then the president has the right to get law and order back into each state. So no matter what these woke governors and other people are doing, the president stands predominant in these situations. He said the days of these shenanigans are over. Law and order must prevail like any other country that has a government. The law rules. You know what I mean? So we are all in the shared space together. So it's like a prisoner's dilemma. If something goes wrong, it affects everybody. So the government is there to make sure there's law and order. So is the security forces. Okay, so that took place, that now you cannot hide wherever you are in the United States. There's nowhere to hide anymore. They're coming for you if you have a problem. So seek an immigration attorney, seek an immigration specialist, get the information that you need to take care of your case. I'm going to put my numbers down below at the end of the show, so you do remember. If you want to get into the right directions, I'll point you there. So contact me if you're scared. But just remember, it's now what we call law and order. We spoke about also the fact that green card holders, if you have an issue in the past, you need to start getting your application together for citizenship. And before you do that, you need legal advice. You need some advice from an expert in the immigration field, because things have changed. Those who are citizens, you can be denaturalized without even notice if you misrepresented yourself or committed fraud. Think about it, guys. So let's get into the VVIP club, the VIP club, and so on. I've said it on many other occasions. This is Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. We have created certain categories that some people have been inducted automatically into those categories. Number one is the VVIP category. So if you have an event or you want to come on the show, you got to go to a certain place and let us know. That's the Mystic Inn. But the VVIP club is exclusive to those who are inducted or have a spending limit. So those who have been inducted automatically, 3 months from now, they will lose that criteria if they do not visit the Mystic Inn. But for right now, they can call in, contact us, and I'm going to put the numbers up. And if they need to advertise their events, come on the show live and also talk about it for a couple of minutes. They can do so. And down below, the numbers are scrolling for those who need to know how to get their immigration problems sorted out. We'll point you in the right directions. Contact us. The numbers are down below, right down here. You know what I mean? So, but for those who are in the VVIP club, your membership ends in 3 months. That's the free induction. So we'll mention your events. You're entitled to come on for a couple of minutes to talk about it. And that makes a difference and brings a flavor to your event that you can spread it across the media. And also the audience that is watching for free. This is Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, guys. And this is PIP Mondays. Just remember, we prioritize, promote, and also we said prioritize, inform, and promote. So if you are part of the VVIP club, you are entitled for mention of your events. And also you can come on the show for a couple of minutes and talk about it. Those in the VIP club, I'm not going to discuss right now because you're entitled to a month. And you were inducted freely. However, the month is coming to an end where we mention certain events for you. But that's coming to an end, and I will announce that on Saturday, because I think Saturday is the end of it, or you have a couple more days. I'll just like, share, subscribe, comment, and click the notification bell. So next Saturday, when DJ Latta is here, he's back from his international travels. When DJ Latta is here, I'll announce the deadline for the VIP club, because you're your membership is coming to an end, and you got to visit the Mystic Inn in Sea Air District in Manchester to then reinstate your membership. So there's a minimum spending limit that to be included into the club, either as a VVIP member or a VIP member. And there's a minimum spending for a general member that allows you to advertise for your events to be mentioned on 1 or 2 occasions. So there's something for everybody. So remember, that's the Mystic Inn in Sierra District in Manchester. Visit there if you need to continue your membership. So let's go, guys. So now the events that I'm mentioning are VVIP members, and also you got to remember that there's some entities that do not need to be in any membership. They'll be announced without any inhibitions or any hurdles to cross, such as schools, churches, social groups, anything that's positive or community based that that needs to be talked about, or they need to come here on the show live. Contact me on those numbers below, or go to the Mystic Inn if you're a part of these community-based groups. So schools, churches, community clubs, social clubs, service clubs, you name it. Go to the Mystic Inn and bring that information there, and I will be able to broadcast it for you and talk about it and bring you on to talk about it without any cost or inhibitions or any hurdles to cross. All right, so just remember that. But you got to be in South Central Jamaica. That's Southeast St. Elizabeth and Southwest Manchester. And we will bring the fringes of Clarendon and Westmoreland into it because you're a part of the South Central of Jamaica. So this is RAMP Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. This is PIP Mondaze. So let's begin. And we talk about Lady K. Lady K, Nurse K, will be presenting her July 26, 2025. This is health fair. K's Mobile Service Health Fair starts at 9 a.m. at AgriPlus Farm Store in New Forest District in Manchester. This has free blood pressure checks, free blood sugar checks, free HIV tests, and doctors will be doing free back to school medicals. Free. It's coming to that time, guys. Sagicor Insurance Information, Negusa Nikas Health and Wellness Company is also involved, and lots more activities. But you gotta get there at 9 a.m. on July 26, 2025. It's a Saturday. Go there, guys. This is K Mobile Service Health Fair, and this is a big deal, and we are proud of Nurse K. This is awesome. So wherever you are, head down there on July 26th. It's a Saturday, 2025. You have no excuses. Bring yourself and your family members for free blood pressure checks, free blood sugar checks, free HIV tests, and the doctors will be there for your children for free back to school medicals. So go ahead, guys. This is awesome. Lady K also has an event called Lady K's as Nurse presents Cookout and Friends Link Up on June 27, 2025. So you can go there and get more information. It will be at Misha's Right Spot Bar in Sierra District, Manchester on the Sea Air Main Road. You can't miss it if you're coming from Pepper, Santa Cruz, or Mandeville, and you get to Gutters, St. Elizabeth, right on the border. You make the turn towards Alligator Pond. It's a straight road. It's about 5 to 6 miles on the right-hand side. Misha's Right Spot Bar, Sea Air District, Main Road. And you can Google Misha's Right Spot. It's on Google Maps. Just as how the Mystic Inn is on Google Maps, you will find it, so you don't have any excuse, guys. This is going to be one of the biggest cookouts for the whole entire summer. I guarantee you, because she's connected, and she's connected to a lot of people, and this health fair tells you who this lady is. She is a community activist, a person who builds great communities, and she's looking after your health, guys. And if you think that's something else, look at her husband here in the Rum for Tea crew. The Rum for Tea family, Sir Bartley and the crew, in association with Andy's Weekend, presents, I tell you, on Sunday, August 3rd, at Crazy Mondays HQ, Ian's Lawn, New Forest in Manchester, they present a day that you cannot resist. You will have the top Gregor, DJ Skiboo. He's one of the most prolific and most awarded disc jockeys in South Central Jamaica. He's got to get a whole room for his accolades and trophies. He's traveled internationally, and I've seen he's been in Cayman, Canada, and so on. He's doing things, and he's one of those DJs that will keep you moving all night, and he'll be alongside Eagle Force, big up Eagle Force, and he'll also be at the K's Friends Link Up Cookout. He's DJ Skibbo. You don't want to miss it, guys. This summer is heating up. I'm telling you. I'm feeling the vibe. You know what I mean? So you gotta go. Both to K's. Let's go back to K's. Cookout and Friends Link Up. That's June 27th. And on August 3rd, you have the Rum for Tea family. These are big deals. So let's move on to Chicken Back and Seafood Festival. We're waiting for Mr. Nito to come on live to talk about it, give the history about Chicken Back Festival. It's been going on for years. Pizza Nito is a part. I don't know if he still is or was a part of the Jamaica Customs, but he, alongside Links Construction and Maintenance family, that's Links Construction and Maintenance Limited. You have Black Brothers Construction, King's Chemicals, Market Fresh Produce, Pump Up Liquor Store. They're all involved on Links. You know what I mean? So they have Chicken Back and Seafood Festival on August 3rd. That's Emancipation Day, if I remember right. And they are giving you chicken back in every style. And they're saying to you that, listen, ladies and gentlemen, this event, the breakfast starts at 8 a.m. Breakfast starts at 8 a.m. So you got to be there early. And they said, bring your swimwear, because guess what? The river is 5 minutes away. So that means if you want to take the family, go swimming, go from early. You go early, get breakfast, go to the river, come back, that sort of thing. It will be at Tara's. And it's a big deal, guys. Tara's Seafood Restaurant and Lounge in Alligator Pond. It's a beautiful place. It's a great venue, and Alligator Pond is off the chain. It's somewhere you gotta go. Remember, you have Little Ochi, Oswald, Bunch of Grape. You have many places, but Tara's Seafood Restaurant and Lounge in Alligator Pond District in Manchester is a beautiful place to go. This Chicken Back and Seafood Festival is an annual event, and you will not be disappointed. I guarantee you. So let's move on to Fly the Gate Carnival. This is Carnival on Sunday in Junction, St. Elizabeth. Let's get Ladden on the show for his recording to let you know that this is a big deal. So Ladden is repping for this event, and let's get him on the show. So here we go. Let's let's get Landon up here.
Musical juggling by DJ
Oh, here
Marvin,
we
done
go.
with sound a string up. Watch out,
So,
ZG Liquid, pull up, Bad Selector, Splendid, Ratty and Bones, Aladna Endacid, Fly the Gate, pull up this Sunday in a junction.
okay, so let's
Love
get it
girl
again.
when I broke my vibe, now for tell you where you touch tonight. Lad, I say, yo, Impact Events brings to you Fly the Gate, watch out, man, Carnival and Foam Water Party. This Sunday, the 29th of June, and the place to be, Junction, St. Elizabeth. May I tell you, City Center, pull up. Musical juggling by DJ Marvin, done with sound a string up. Watch out, ZG Liquid, pull up. Bad Selector, Splendid, Ratty and Bones, Aladna Endacid, Fly the Gate, pull up this Sunday in a junction.
Okay, so check it out, guys. This is Carnival in Junction, St. Elizabeth, and this has been going on by Impact Events. They've been known for these elaborate carnivals and so on. These foam and water parties in Junction, St. Elizabeth. It is something to be reckoned with. I don't know where on the island you've had something this elaborate, but they put a lot of emphasis and interest and also their money behind the event. It is something that for the family, it's a day and night event. You can take the entire family there. It's clean fun at City Center Plaza in Junction. You've got the police station close by. You've got a lot of good security there. And I've never heard of an incident there. And there's always something for everybody. So Junction is one of those towns that have grown exponentially, and it is one of those prestige towns on the island of Jamaica, in South Central Jamaica, that you need to go to. So there's a lot of ticket outlets. Get the final tickets, guys. It's very affordable, and if you have VIP tickets for $6,000, I think I'll go VIP all the way. Goodness gracious me, I'm telling you. So big up to Impact and my brethren from Impact. We say God bless you, and we're advertising this for you. It is on Sunday, and this is one of the events for the summer. This is a big deal. It's a carnival, foam, and water party. And I'm going to try to get Gavin on here to talk about it before Sunday. So you may see me come on impromptu during the rest of this week to get Gavin on here to talk about this event. So guys, check it out. This is a big, big deal. But we have a big deal down in New Forest, and we call it the Swamp View Promotions in association with Bolo and the whole crew presents birthday celebration, a night at the Roxbury, they call it, and musical juggling would be by the Uptown Movement, DJ 5, and the great DJ Kino. I'm telling you, this is awesome. You need to be there. So this is on July 25th. It's a Friday in New Forest, at the Gullyside Bar on Lane Road in New Forest District in Manchester. This event is when the chicken meet the fish. Goodness gracious me, I'm telling you. So big up to Bolo. A night at the Roxbury at Gullyside Bar on Lane Road in New Forest District. So if you don't know where Lane Road is, if you're coming from Santa Cruz End or Mandeville End and you get to Gutters, head towards Alligator Pond. You're gonna drive about 6 miles in. It's when you get to Ian's Lawn, you make the left, and that's where you call Lane Road, and you go down to Gully Side. You can't miss it. It's a beautiful venue. It's all Barber Green Road. That's a smooth road to get there. The venue is off the chain. This event is going to be one of those events you can't miss for the summer. It's July 25th, just before Emancipation Day. It's 45 minutes from the airport for those who are traveling in from Norman Manley Airport. And it's going to be maybe an hour and a half, depending on how you drive from Montego Bay. But you can't miss it in the South Central section of Jamaica. You know, this is Party Central. And this party with DJ Kino, check this out, guys. DJ Kino is rubbing on the heels of DJ Skibo. They are great jugglers and they know the music inside out. DJ 5 is there with them. He's riding that circle and uptown movements. Guys, this is 3 the hard way. This is party unlimited. So you need to be there on July 25th at the Rocks, a night called the Roxbury with the Swamp View promotion crew with the king himself, Mr. Bolo. Check it out. This is something to be reckoned with, guys. This is amazing. Trust me, you need to be there. So stop what you're doing, take down the date, and remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, and click that notification bell. Closer to the time, Sir Bolo will be on the show to talk about his event. This is a big deal. So let's talk about Sir Billings and the Top Rock family. The Top Rock family is in Prospect District, Manchester, and you will see Sir Billings soon because we had some deaths in our circle. That's Sir Bartley, Father Bartley, and Father Witter, and many others. So I did not bring on any of these people because they had to attend the funerals and setups and so on. And there's a lot of family gathering at this point, so I've got to show that respect. But Sir Billings would be on the show to talk about his business at Top Rock and also his auto parts business and his engineering firm. He has what you call every Sunday Classic Sundays. He also has what we call Cool Rock Fridays and many other events. So this is a very beautiful venue to be at in Prospect District in Manchester. And remember, you got to go this summer if you're in Jamaica or you're in and around the area. Do remember the goats are chilling out right now. All the goats are chilling out, and the chickens are on the fire, and also the fish. I'm telling you, goodness gracious me. Let me show you what's going on here. You know, because you don't understand that. As I said, the VVIP club, you gotta go to the Mystic Inn at some point. So that membership is gonna run out, right? However, you got to understand that not only does the VVIP membership runs out, so does the VIP membership. They're coming to a close right now. And in order for you to renew that, you got to go to the Mystic Inn in Sear District in Manchester. And at that point, you know what you need to do to regain those memberships. This is not a joke, guys. You got to understand that in order to be on a show, you got to be engaged, and to be engaged, you got to participate in order to get into those membership clubs. Advertising, or what you call it, mentioning or being a part of this platform takes some effort on your part, because it takes a lot of effort on my part to be able to do this, and I'll be around for it for a very long time. So do remember, go to the Mystic Inn in Sear District very soon to engage with RAMP Promotions, the Real Deal Podcast Show, PIP Mondaze, and all the other podcasts that we put on every week. So this sure is guaranteed. So we said that there was a couple of things that happened, and I want to highlight them because guess what? The thing is, I saw an incident in Junction, and not only Junction, but there was other places on the island that saw this happen, and I was wondering why is this so important? I didn't want to mention it, but because of the overwhelming impact of it, I had to bring it up here. So first of all, let me kind of play this, get this on the screen so that you can see it because this is amazing what happened on KFC's um, anniversary. And I was so surprised. And I'm saying to myself, I think maybe down the road you'll have a lot of stoves being sold on the roadside. So I think this is Junction St. Elizabeth if I remember right. And check this out, guys. Hold on a second. If this is not Junction, it's another KFC, but wow. Now you tell me. Check this out. I couldn't believe myself about what I'm seeing here. Is this how we conduct ourselves for some chicken? My God. So hold on. Check this out. So hold on a second. So guys, you can see for yourself. Hold on a second. Let me take that off the screen. I was truly surprised, and I was thinking of maybe I shouldn't bring it up because really and truly I don't like to see this. Like you're behaving in an unruly way. This is why the chickens were at war, right? So during the summer, also the fish they're getting ready to go at war. The goats were on holidays, and they're getting ready to get back into the mix because they're now getting ready to battle. They know them curry goat and all them thing there. So they're getting ready, guys. So we say thank you for joining the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to play a couple of tracks from DJ Asher D, and then we're going to close the show. So here we go. These are dub plates, so we won't be flagged for it. Thank you for being here. God bless you all. Always remember to pray when you're going out, pray when you're coming in. We don't control our lives. God does. And we say thank you for being a part of the show. We'll see you on the next show. God bless you all. Here we go. Goodness gracious me. Goodness gracious me. Big up to Jamaican and my nephew, Asher D. Do remember goodness gracious me. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of the show. This is Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, and we say it's AKA PIP Mondays, where we prioritize, we inform, and we promote. Naram Promotion airs every week, and especially on a Saturday and a Monday, and also during the course of the week. You got to like, share, subscribe, and comment, and click that notification bell. We say thank you for being a part of our show, and we appreciate you wholeheartedly, and we say God bless each and every one. Keep liking, sharing, subscribing, and also commenting and clicking that notification bell as we go out with Asher D's mixtape from UK. That's my nephew. God bless you, and we love you. Here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, our DJ, DJ Latta is back in town. You'll hear him soon. He was resting from his international travel, and he's back. So thank you, DJ Latta, for touching base, and also we prayed for your safe journey. You made it there, and you're back. That means your paper's good. So big up yourself. DJ Latta will be back for you and yours very soon. And I hope he can make it during the course of the week. If not, it's gonna be on Saturday. So big up DJ Latta, big up every time to every massive out there. We say one love as we close the show. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you all. Jamaican to take you out. We say big up to the Naram family in England. We'll be on your doorstep real soon, and the world will see what we're coming from. Easy Colonel, Stuka, Smiley, and the family, we'll be there soon to talk about it. So love you all as we close the show. Naram Promotions is at you. Good morning. Naram Promotions is at you.